Hello, welcome. So my initial plan was to upload all of the signs in one video, but it's turning out to be a much bigger endeavor than I anticipated, and I need to readjust. So I'm going to split them up. Just a quick reminder, you might want to check out your ascendant or your moon sign as well. Particularly if you're a night chart, I often find that moon signs resonate just as strongly as sun signs do for people with night charts. So thank you for watching. Let's begin. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start with Aries, our first zodiac sign. I'm going to pull a couple of oracle cards for Aries. We have details, and a fiery climax approaches. Okay, Aries, so for the month of June, it looks like you're gonna have to be incredibly detail oriented this month. Make sure that you're paying attention to all details in all realms. So if it's at work, make sure that you run your emails through a spell check or a word check before you send them out. Make sure you just go ahead and use that. You know, I know most people compose in Microsoft Word. There's like an editor. Go ahead and use that editor. Some people are using that AI stuff. That's fine if you're using that. But I would double check if you are using that to make sure that your facts are accurate, because there's been a lot of press about those AI text aggregators presenting information in a way that seems accurate and authoritative, but actually is not. It's totally made up information, so you need to make sure to double check your facts. And then as this fiery climax approaches, this full moon in Aries, how funny is that for Aries we got full moon in Aries? I'm getting that maybe your temper is running a little hot this month, a little fiery, so try to pull back a little bit, try to rein that temper and keep your emotions under control. We don't want you what's that term? Railing off at the handle. I can't think of what it is, but we don't want you just yelling at people or getting angry and saying things that you can't take back. So rein it in a little bit this month. Try to keep aware of how your emotions are going. Okay, I'm going to draw 4 cards in silence now for Aries. You can fast forward to the part where the cards are drawn, or you can stay with me and watch me shuffle. I don't take them when they pop out like that. Okay, perfect. Now let's turn these over and see what we got. We have the Princess of Discs. Fabulous card. I love her. The Ace of Cups. The Three of Wands. Oh, how lovely. And the Nine of Cups. We'll pull some clarifiers in a minute, but the Princess of Discs, again, is telling me really important for you to keep paying attention to those details. So when we get the Princess of Discs, she is a card that talks about complete manifestation and the ability to make all of your dreams and wishes come true on the material plane. She is considered in Kabbalistic interpretations the last card of the elements. So she represents Earth, the lowest world in the tree of life. So it goes from wands to water to swords to earth. I almost forgot there for a minute. You know, when you have the camera on you, you get a little nervous. But so the Princess of Discs is telling you that right now, all these things that you've been planning and visualizing and willing to happen are about to come to fruition. They're not there yet, but they will be soon. And you need to remember that. You need to keep this Ace of Cups in mind and remember that you're very close to achieving whatever goal it is that you've been trying to achieve this month. You're almost there. You are moving into a realm of emotions and magic, and it's going to be important for you to keep your heart positive. So make sure that when you enter into situations, because I'm getting this fiery, climax approaching, if you know that you're going to be going into a situation where you think that things might be tense, make sure to stop for a moment, meditate if you can, and try to envision yourself surrounded in white light, pink light, whatever soothes you, and try to picture the environment that you're entering into surrounded by that same loving light. And that should help calm you down and approach things from a heart-centered place. You also have the Three of Wands here coming in as advice from Spirit. So the Three of Wands is called Virtue in the Thoth deck. I'm going to hold it up for you so you can see. It's called Virtue. It's a lovely card. It is the sun in Aries. So lots of Aries, you're coming through really strongly, for yourself in this spread this month, which is telling me that you have a lot of control over what happens this month. We also, as you'll notice, we have no major arcana cards. We have all minor arcana and the princess heading off the month. So you have an incredible amount of control. Decisions that you make this month, Aries, will greatly affect the outcome. And we have the outcome as being the Nine of Cups, which is happiness, and the wish fulfillment card in many decks. Many tarot readers consider it to be the wish fulfillment card. It's a very self-centered card in my view. Now, I'm not saying it's a negative card. It is definitely a very positive, hopeful, happy, great card to get, where everybody's happy when they get the Nine of Cups, and I am too. The only warning with the Nine of Cups is to not be too selfish. And that's the other kind of warning with this full moon in Aries card, is to try to keep in mind, try to keep a other person's perspective when you're moving through the month as well. I'm going to pull some clarifiers, but I am getting at the end of the month, if you follow with the details, follow through with your plan, this Three of Wands, your ships are coming in. That's the traditional Rider-Waite definition of the Three of Wands. You're going to get what you want. Let's pull some clarifiers on these cards and see what we get. I will have the names of all of the cards in the description box, the cards that I'm using. So if you're curious, I don't always remember what they are as I'm using them. Like this one's one of my favorite decks, but I don't remember what it is, what it's called. Okay, so you've got the Page of Cups. Let's see what else. Thank you, Spirit. Tell me more about that Ace of Cups, please. Tell me more about the Ace of Cups. Thank you. Ooh, we have Judgment. Lovely. Tell me more about the Three of Wands, please. Tell me more about the Three of Wands. Fantastic. Ooh, the Death card. Love it. Tell me more about the Nine of Cups, please. The Nine of Cups. Tell me more about the Nine of Cups, please. The Hierophant, we're going to keep that. You know what, let's put that here to the side. I don't like to take out cards that pop out like that. Tell me more about the Nine of Cups, please. There we go, thank you. And the reason why I don't like to take them when they're that way, because I feel like it's too emotional of a response. And as I was saying, especially for you right now, Aries, we want to kind of rein in that emotional response so that we're not acting from a place of rashness, a over-eager place without thinking things through. So, but I am going to put it here because it did want to come out, and it does have a message for us. I might pull another clarifier in a minute to tell us, explain that message a little more. But let's look at these cards first. So we have the Page of Cups underneath the Princess of Wands. This is something that's very close to your heart. Whatever this is that you've been planning and trying to achieve this month. It could also be an apology. You could have an apology that you've been waiting a long time for coming into you. And I feel like it's a really long time because we have the Judgment card coming next to it. We do have these major arcana cards qualifying our first row. So some of this work I'm feeling this month is stuff that you've had in the back of your mind for quite a long time, things that have been affecting you for quite a while. What's coming in for you right now is a complete change in direction. It's a new way of existing in the world for you. Now this Page of Cups, she's kind of looking towards the past. So any kind of heart situations, any kind of nostalgia or any feelings of regret that you still harbor from the past, you're going to let them go this month. You're going to move on. The Judgment card is a new era, really, for me. And it says that the time is almost right, but not quite right. So if you're feeling a little frustrated, keep that in the back of your mind. You are experiencing a resurrection of sorts, but it's not complete yet. You haven't completed your journey yet. You have this Death card here in your advice position, and the Death card for me is, I think the best way that I heard it explained a while ago, which I really loved, is the Death card is that time, that moment when you kind of dissolve, when everything dissolves. So if we take the caterpillar turning into a moth scenario, the caterpillar, when the caterpillars just kind of, they've wrapped themselves in the cocoon, they've already done that, but now their body chemistry is starting to just kind of dissolve into mush, into nothing. They haven't started to restructure and become the caterpillar yet. Now they're just kind of dissolving. And so that's what the Death card is. It's that moment when you're just kind of, you're starting to let go of everything in the past that wasn't working for you. Okay, and that's your advice, to really slow down a little bit and let yourself go through that process of transformation, because by the end of the month you have the Six of Wands coming in under the Nine of Cups. So this is Six of Wands is victory, it is plans accomplished, it is our hero riding in on their horse to accolades and garlands and flowers being thrown at them because they have just come through the battle and have arrived victorious. And that's you at the end of the month, Aries. So you have a really strong reading here. I'm really happy for you. We've got the Emperor to keep in mind here. So that the Emperor could be telling you that it's going to be important for you to work within established structures. Now is not the time for you to be a maverick and to try to reinvent the wheel. Try to keep in mind that you're going to have to work within established rules already, things that are already set up in order to be successful at the end of the month. Don't be a maverick, okay? All right. I'm going to take one more card, a little bit of parting words of wisdom for Spirit. We'll end with another little oracle card for you, Aries. Okay, and we have vulnerability here. Such a lovely card. Look at this card. I always actually really like this card in this deck because I just think it's so beautiful. So this goes along really beautifully for me with the Death card and that theme that we were talking about earlier of needing to just let yourself kind of dissolve into mush this month, you know, in a productive way, not in a way where you just lay in bed all month and don't do anything, but really embrace that letting go. Because while that puts you in a vulnerable state, or it may feel like you think you're being incredibly vulnerable, you're really very much protected at this time. This is your path now to take a rest, to let yourself be guided by Spirit, let yourself go down the path, let yourself transform into the butterfly that we were talking about earlier this month. All right, Aries, thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. It really helps the channel grow and really helps me out. And all right, I will catch you in the next one. We're going to move on to Taurus next.